Hello friends! In November 2018, a sensational news story was published in the media. John Allen Chau, a 26-year-old American blogger and Christian missionary, has been killed by a tribal group on Sentinel Island. According to sources, he first arrived on the shores of North Sentinel Island on November 14, 2018, carrying personal belongings and gifts such as football, dried fish, and some Bibles. From a distance, Chau shouted, "My name is John, I love you and Jesus loves you." The tribespeople warned him and forced him to flee. He barely managed to escape and return to where his boat was stationed. He was obsessed with the idea of teaching the Bible to the tribespeople. In his diary, he wrote a message addressed to his parents. "You guys might think I'm crazy in all this, but I think it's worthwhile to declare Jesus to these people." This suggests that he had a doubt in his mind that he might be killed, but he could not restrain himself. Disregarding the warning, he reached the beach of the island on November 16 in a kayak. But this time, the tribespeople rained arrows on him and bid him farewell forever, burying his body on the same seashore. This incident drew global attention. Many questions arose in people's mind about Sentinel Island, its inhabitants, and especially the Sentinelese tribespeople accused of the murder. In this video, we will try to find answers to these questions. In the Bay of Bengal region of the Indian Ocean, a group of 572 small islands forms the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. This Indian administrated territory is located about 1200 kilometers southeast of the Indian mainland. The region has two island groups, the Andaman Islands and the Nicobar Islands. The Andaman Islands are closer to Myanmar while the Nicobar Islands are nearer to Indonesia. Out of the 572 islands, only 38 are inhabited. The residents of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands are primarily of two types: indigenous tribal communities and immigrants. The immigrants are from the Indian mainland and other Asian regions. They speak languages like Hindi, Bengali, Tamil, Telugu, and Malayalam. The tribals are the oldest inhabitants here. The major indigenous tribes of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands include the Great Andamanese, Jarawa, Onge, Sentinelese, Nicobaris, and Sompen. Due to encroachment by immigrant settlements and natural disasters like epidemics and tsunamis, the population of these tribes has significantly declined. One of the islands in Andaman group is North Sentinel Island. Surrounded by dense forest, coral reefs, and sea beaches, this area is the home of Sentinelese tribals. Historically, the first recorded information about North Sentinel Island dates back to 1771. When a ship of the East India Company was passing near this island, a surveyor traveling on it saw a bright light coming from within the jungle. Another record is from 1867 when an Indian merchant ship had an accident near this island. The indigenous people attacked the passengers on the ship. Fortunately, they managed to escape. In 1880, a British officer named Maurice Vidal Portman traveled to the North Sentinel Island to meet the Sentinelese and civilize them. He took some other Andamanese tribals with him, hoping communication would be possible. But no one could understand the Sentinelese language, and ultimately, having failed, he brought an elderly man and some children back with him to the capital of Andaman and Nicobar, Port Blair. However, the old man died in Port Blair, and feeling pity for the distressed children, he returned them to their homeland. In the 1970s, a film crew reached North Sentinel Island while shooting a documentary. They first searched for the tribals but could not find them. So they left some coconuts, food items, and a live pig and waited at a distance in their boat. Suddenly, a group arrived and began attacking them with arrows and spears. They also killed the pig and buried it in the sand. The video shot during this incident is the first ever video of this tribe. Over time, there have been repeated attempts to infiltrate North Sentinel Island or access the Sentinelese. In all such incidents, the Sentinelese have responded with attacks. This shows how Sentinelese tribe has managed to remain isolated till now. These indigenous people are estimated to have been living there for over 60,000 years. It is believed that they came from Africa and settled there during the ancient human migration phase. The Sentinelese are a much more isolated and protected tribe than other indigenous groups. They belong to the Negrito community, are short in stature and have well-built bodies. The Sentinelese tribe is reclusive and avoids contact with the outside world. If anyone tries to enter their territory, they attack with spears and arrows to protect themselves. According to the 2011 Indian government census, their population was only 15, with 12 men and 3 women. But other surveys suggest their number range between 50 and 100. Being completely isolated, they are highly vulnerable to external diseases. To protect the health and lifestyle of the Sentinelese, prevent external infections and safeguard their traditions from destructions, the Indian government issued the Andaman and Nicobar Islands Regulation in 1956, declaring the island group and its surrounding area a protected zone, prohibiting entry within approximately 5 kilometers. From time to time, the Indian government has also attempted to visit the area to gather information about them. During the 2004 tsunami and the COVID-19 pandemic, the Indian government did make efforts to provide relief to the Sentinelese but was unsuccessful. In both situations, they managed to survive without any external help. Due to their isolation from the outside world, very little is known about the Sentinelese. Even in this modern age, they continue to live a Stone Age lifestyle. The Sentinelese usually do not wear clothes. They wrap themselves in a tree bark, leaves and wild animal skins. They wear minimal clothing made from natural fibers. They use items made from hard shells of marine creatures as ornaments. They do not practice agriculture. They survive by hunting, fishing and gathering wild fruits like coconuts, bananas and tubers. They use bows and arrows and spears for hunting. They use narrow outrigger canoes which they propel with long poles instead of paddles, mostly in shallow waters for fishing. They live in small groups. Their dwellings range from communal huts to temporary shelters on the seashore. Shelters are constructed using easily available natural materials like tree branches, leaves, spines and coconut leaves. Finally, the Sentinelese tribe is unique on Earth. Studying their life provides insight into how our ancient ancestors lived. They are also children of this earth, and they have the right to live freely with their own lifestyle, language, and traditions. It is our collective responsibility to protect their identity and safeguard their rights. How did you like this video? If you enjoyed it, please like, share and subscribe for more such new content. Thank you.